Hello, fifth grade mathematicians. We are going to do entry task day 105 today. Problem number 1. Ian used 2.5 inches of duct tape. He used 2/5 inches to make a wallet. Which expression could be used to correctly determine the amount of duct tape in inches that remains? So let's go to our favorite type of diagram, a tape diagram. And that represents the amount of all of the duct tape. And what's being done to that is he's using 2/5 inches. So when we use something, we take it away. And that is 2/5 inches. So what we have is we have 28.5 minus 2/5. And that's when we look at our expressions, we can obviously see that is. So what does this mean when I have 28.5? Well, if I decompose that, or use the distributive property, it's 28 plus 1/2. Okay? And I want to think of those as being together. And what am I doing to those is I'm taking 2/5 from that. So I can look at this and I say, well, it can't be A because I'm not taking both 5/10 and 4/10 from there. You might say, well, wait, where do you get tenths? Well, remember, we're dealing with fractions, so we have halves and fifths, and the common denominator for halves and fifths are tenths. So I would have 28 and 5/10 minus 4/10, right? Because 1/2 is equal to 5/10 and 2/5 is equal to 4/10. So, as I'm looking at that, oh, well look, I see that right here with selection B. Now let's see if the other ones could equal that. We couldn't have C because they did not make equivalent fractions. They used a common denominator, but they didn't make them into equivalent fractions. And this is the same. So we're going to go with selection B. Number 2. Simon will finish stacking cubes to create a solid rectangular prism. The completed prism will be 3 centimeters high, 4 centimeters wide, and 5 centimeters long. Enter the volume in cubic centimeters of the completed rectangular prism. So there are a couple things that we need to point out here. This has been mentioned a couple times. The completed prism, and then it says down here, it tells us to enter the volume in cubic centimeters of the completed prism. So we know that volume requires us to go length times width times height. And we also know that the order that we multiply those is not important. So I'm going to do the easiest way for me, and I look at this and I see, well, 4 times 5 is 20. So 3 times 20 is equal to 60, and volume has 3 dimensions, so we're going to go centimeters cubed. $60 centimeters cubed. Very good. And we have seen a lot of conversion problems, and I'm sure that you guys are becoming experts with that. Well, let's take a look at this. So we know we always go with what they give us, 10 meters. And we go to, we're looking for centimeters. The prefix centa means 100. So I know that 1 meter has 100 centimeters. So 10 times 100 is 1,000 centimeters. So 10 meters is 1,000 centimeters. Woo! How'd that happen? That's funky. I'm going to have to figure that one out. I might have just learned something new here. I just don't know how to fix it. So, anyway, I will figure that one out. In the meantime, if you have any questions or you can help Mr. Gilman, go ahead and message me on Seesaw. All right, have a good day.